Welcome to the Roy Snarr Show, entrepreneurship and giving back. Now, here's your host, Roy Snarr.
Well, the thing is, this is like yourself. You got comfortable at six figures, but then you kept going.
Yeah.
And your kids are taking note of that.
Yeah.
Your kids are seeing that. They're observing that. Kids learn more by behavior that's presented to them than anything else. So as they're watching you, as your children are watching you every day, that dad is waking up early. Wow, now dad has his own TV show. Yeah. Man, this is epic. Yeah. You're inspiring them to just dream even bigger. And you don't even realize that you've already raised the lid for your children. And they're going to, nothing brings me more joy and fulfillment is my son. He just graduated from Texas State.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome.
And now he's brand new in the car business, one of the top salesmen there. He loves it. He chose not to become a teacher. And I said, well, that's your decision, but he loves sales.
Yeah.
And he's skyrocketing because he sees that dad has 3 books. I'm working on my current 4th book, a sales book. It's going to be called, I can't give out the name, but it's an amazing sales book.
Okay.
But it's going to be amazing. It's going to come out this year. But my point is he sees dad here.
Wow.
And he's like, you know what? I'm going to chase that. I want to become more. I see the possibilities because as I was a kid, I was never taught to dream. I was never taught. They were just, hey, This is what I heard. Go to school, get your degree, get a job, retire in 20 years, and if you're lucky, you'll get a pension and a gold watch.
Exactly.
Screw that. I'll go buy my own watch in 2 years. Why not? Why wait 20 years? But that's the mentality that people have.
It is. It very much
like,
so
we were talking about that before the show began, right? You bought a nice watch, go buy another watch. Like, why wait 20 years to get a pension, 20 years for a gold watch? By the time in 5 years, 3 years, whatever years it is, you can have 20 gold watches. Why not?
Yeah, that's what you want. Exactly.
But that needs to be your mentality is the only limitations are your self-imposed limitations. Get rid of that BS. And that's not the bad BS. It's the belief system that doesn't serve you anymore.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that is powerful because what you're doing with your son, right? This is a model of an example. Let's say that you never did any of this. Maybe he would have become a teacher. Nothing wrong with that, but maybe his vision wasn't expanded or stretched because my vision wasn't expanded or stretched ever until I joined a network marketing group, and it happens to be with insurance. And then I saw this reality. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm just a hillbilly construction worker and you can make millions of dollars doing this. This is amazing, right? Yeah. I never had this stretched vision, but now it's different because even when I was first getting into all this, there wasn't YouTube really. I mean, this was like 2006 when I graduated high school. I mean, it was there, but it wasn't like what it is today, right? Yeah. And nowadays we have shows like this. There's all tons of other shows that you can watch and become a part of. There's really no excuse. It's like if you can't make it, it's because you're lazy. I mean, that's the way I view it anyway.
Well, the thing is, is a book opens your mind. A TV show like this, an amazing show, opens your mind. Mm-hmm. And then really the next step is you got to find a mentor. You have to hire a coach.
Yeah.
And that's a mistake that people make is they think that they can read a book and their life will change. It'll change to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But the true transformation for me has come when I've had coaches and mentors one-on-one and we really go deeper and get rid of that deeper stuff that's inside of us. We all have junk inside of us. We all have trash inside of us that we've been suppressing over the years. And when you go through the coaching with one-on-one with someone, it releases all that. You're like, wow. So instead of doing it for 10 years, like you're saying, when you hire the right coach, the right mentor, guess what? It compounds it, and where now it's done, it accelerates the results in a year and 2 years.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I came out of nowhere. In 2017, my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, like I said earlier. But in 2018 is really when we launched the business. And in 5 years, people laughed at me when I said I was going to become a motivational speaker. Now we have Sticker Shock Speaking Academy, our own speaking academy that people come in from all over the country, even from international. We've had some people come in internationally from Canada and Mexico. But I say that because 5 years ago, I would have never even dreamed of being an author. I would have never even dreamed of being a speaker. But write this down. People are going to laugh at you before they applaud you. And you have to be okay with that. You can't take it personal and, oh, no, right? It's part of the gig.
Oh, it is. I mean, I remember when I first started,
of the gig.
People said, hey, you're in a pyramid scam, multi-level marketing, all this stuff. You'll never make it. Stupid, come drink beer with us. And I was like, I'd love to, but I got to focus on this. But a lot of my friends, I easily separated them because a lot of times when people backlash at you, it's their own insecurities they're trying to project on you because they're not there, right? And then that's one of the things I always say, like, well, why would I take advice from you when I'm making more money than you and that you're not doing anything to progress yourself? Like, so don't tell me what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was hard, getting out of that comfort zone to separate all that. And, I think a lot of it came down to, a lot of us don't have a choice. Like, we have to do something for revenue. But beyond that, it's like you see other people, like people like yourself and other people on stage and all these other things. It's like, well, why can't I be that way? Right? And that's always got to me too. I saw these people, like the top salespeople on insurance, come on stage. I'm like, that's going to be me one day. How do I get there? It was a very interesting learning curve, and we're still learning. But it's like now we're the ones that are on stage. We're the ones coaching these agents reciprocally in just a very short time frame in the last 6-7 years.
Well, I love what you said, and listen to what Roy said. And I write that in my book, right? I talk about this. It's your old life, right? Your new life is going to cost your old life. There comes a point where you have to turn your back on your old life. Not in a bad way, but you got to disconnect from that old life, your old identity, and realize who you're becoming. And Roy made a decision that he was going to turn back on that, like he said, hillbilly life, beer drinking friends, disconnected from them. And it's not that Roy's better than them. He just chose he wants a better life for him. Yeah. Who are you holding on to that is not adding value to you, that is mocking you, making fun of you, but just because you're comfortable with them, you're not releasing them and letting them go. Remember that your old life needs to go. Your new life is going to come at the expense of your old life.
Wow, that is awesome. Yeah, that is very true.
You did it. You did it.
I lived it, and I never really put it into quite perspective that you're mentioning. But now that I really reflect back on that, I mean, I stopped hanging out with everybody. I had to. Otherwise, I was going to do what they're going to be, right? I asked myself, in 5 years, if I keep up what I'm doing, where am I going to be? And it was probably still at the same beer pong table. So I was like, wait a second, like, let's just change this up a little bit. I need to do something better for myself, more. And just like you and a lot of the other folks out there, I always have a passion to help people. Like, God gives us a calling some way, sort or fashion. And my calling just happens to be able to speak with people. And then I was chose with insurance. That was my avenue to become the person to help as many people as possible.
Well, think about this. Earlier I said, you have to change your geographical area. You have to change your environment. And that's what you did when you disconnected from that group of people. Yeah. Not that you were better than them again, but just the fact that we just had a different path. Yeah. And you were ready for it. And some of you are ready for it right now, but you're scared. You're allowing those belief systems, those paradigms in your mind to control you instead of just acting in spite of fear. And one thing I've learned is, I've been coached by very successful multimillionaires, billionaires, is they act in spite of fear. Yeah. They don't let the economy control them. They act regardless of what's going on, because a lot of this stuff, if you don't, ladies and gentlemen, if we don't realize that the news is programmed to teach us how to be scared, to instill fear in us, you're missing out. And you got to surround yourself with Roys, with Daniels, with people that are not allowing that negativity, that news, to get into their mind. Because this is the truth. If you watch the news or news radio and listen to that, you're putting trash in. So guess what? Trash is going to come out.
Oh, 100%. I used to be a conspiracy theory junkie. I still love it. And you go down with YouTube, I mean, there's like hours of a rabbit hole. I'm like, oh my goodness, that makes sense. Aliens did build the pyramids, like all kinds of stuff, right? That's more of a positive one. But, if you look at like government conspiracies and all this stuff, the deep state, now there's a lot of truth to all that, but I had to catch myself because I was like, man, I'm just throwing my mind full of negative trash constantly. And it was really entertaining because the human mind, like if we watch the news, it's designed to program fear because people that are scared are controllable, right? And that's what they want. And so I had to stop watching a lot of the stuff that I really enjoyed for so long because it was just infiltrating my mind. We can't control what the economy is going to do. We can't control what Congress is going to do. We can't control all of that, right? So why am I going to waste my time and energy on something I don't even have any control over? I have enough problems trying to figure out the stuff I do have control over, right?
You're right.
That's what I wanted to focus on,